Hey peeps, I'm here as promised. Not as early as I thought it would be, but let's talk about boundaries. I just posted a video on boundaries, so I want to hear your questions, your comments, and let's start a discussion on which boundaries are important to you, which ones have you tried before, what worked, what didn't work. I'll tell you my experience. I'll wait for you to show up. It's nice and quiet, still nobody here, but I'm here. We were snowed in Seattle. That is so like a winter wonderland, kind of like Narnia. We have this like lamp post like in Narnia that was alight. Hey Alex, you're the first. We're talking about boundaries today, or at least I posted a video just now about personal boundaries, so ask any questions you have. We can talk about it something else if you'd like, but boundaries is a big topic, and I'm a sexual abuse survivor, childhood sexual abuse survivor, so boundaries have never been something that I even knew. I kind of didn't even know the boundaries existed, that like my body could belong to me. Hey, so feel free to ask any questions, but the video I just posted, I explained how difficult it was to me. My entire life, actually, I didn't know how to tell people, hey, don't touch me, or, use my proper name, or don't look at me this way, or I'm good this morning, thank you. We are snowed in Seattle. It is completely like winter wonderland, so cold that I'm wearing a scarf. But again, like I said, we're talking about boundaries. You can ask me any questions, of course, if you want. I was just talking about how difficult it is when you've been through trauma and through abuse to create boundaries, and how easy it is for people to violate them. Sometimes it's well-meaning people, like your parents or your friends, and they would just bulldoze you, and you have no clue how to tell them how to stop. How did I manage to survive? Can you make a video about jealousy? Jealousy, interesting. Let me write this down. Tell me more exactly, specifically what kind of jealousy. I have no idea how I survived. Like, honestly, I should have been like on drugs or an alcoholic, or turned into, offering my body to strangers into, you work the sex trade, or I don't know, like, I don't know. Honestly, I'm kind of like an offshoot. My whole family is still way back in Russia, and everybody is kind of in the different states of being well and not well, and I made it out. I have this complex. Those of you guys who are poor or immigrants, we have this, what is it, survival, I don't know what it's called. I forgot the name, but it's kind of like you're the only one who makes it, and then you feel guilt. Oh, it's the survivor's guilt, because you're healthy and you're good and you're normal, and everybody that you grew up with, they're struggling, and you feel like you're guilty. You feel like you have to support them, and you feel like you owe them something, but it's not actually true. You don't owe them anything. Jealousy of a partner caused by trauma. Interesting. What's your advice to other people being sexually abused by family members but can't find a way out? First of all, I am so sorry. I know exactly what you've been through, because as a kid I was trapped, right? So I was living with my mom, because my mom and my dad divorced when I was 4. And then my dad would pick me up, and I'm completely blank. My entire childhood is like wiped from my brain. Apparently he picked me up on the weekends to get to his house, and I don't remember most of the times. I remember nothing. So the way I have started pulling myself out of darkness is I started writing the imaginative, kind of like the world where I wanted to live in. So if you are right now smack in the middle of abuse, that is the first way out, is to write down a story, a fictional story of how you would like your world to look like, the words you would like to tell your abusers, the actions you would like to impose on them, how you would like to hurt them. And I'm not kidding. Get violent in that story. It will give you relief. Thank you. That my lady is saying, you're so inspirational. I was raised horribly as well, and your videos talk to my soul. I love you. Thank you so much for being here. You're inspirational. Just so you know, you guys, you're the ones who keep me going. For 10 years, I was silent. Like when I confronted my father about my abuse and he admitted to it and my family cut me off, I just wanted to kill myself. For about 2 years, I was suicidal because I didn't want to live anymore. It was like, there was no point. So, and then for about 10 years, I hid from people. I was writing books. I just published my 10th book. I started writing novels, like really kind of horror, dark magic stuff, because I was done with people. I was done with the world. So I know how you feel. That's why I'm here now. And I'm at the place where I don't give a fuck anymore. And I want to speak, but I also realize that I'm selfish sitting on all this stuff that I figured out for myself, because I'm healthier now. I even look better. Oh, fuck, I forgot. Shoot. Oh, somebody remind me for tomorrow. I promised you to show a picture of myself 10 years ago, and I looked older, and I didn't look, actually, I wasn't as healthy as I am now 10 years ago. Like, I looked older than I'm looking now, and I wanted to show it to you, but I forgot. So, hang on. Let me write this down. Show a pic before. Okay, I wrote it down. I hope tomorrow we'll do live. I'll come on live tomorrow and I'll try to show it to you. If I can't figure out, I'll just flip my phone and I show it to you on my screen. So yeah, ask questions. What do you do with the revenge and anger you want to use and cause harm to others? You harm them in your story. I kid you not. I have killed my father in my books so many times. If you want to go see. You can find my books, on my site or on Amazon, whatever, and you can read it. Like, one of them is about me being, temporarily homeless. I wasn't really homeless, but I just kind of ran away from home. I was a teen mom. I was 17, pregnant, scared, alone, didn't know where to go. And my first husband's family kind of adopted me. They took me in. But I wrote a book about a homeless girl in Russia, and, she kills her abuser in the end with a knife, practically rapes him to death. So, that's what gave me relief. The violence, the rage, and the anger that I felt. And right now I'm writing a thriller about a serial killer. And man, I feel so happy because I'm imagining my father being that serial killer. And I'm just, getting my justice that I could never get in real life. Hi from Middle East, Yumi-chan, love you. I love you right back. I love you all so very much. I'm here for you. I'm not going anywhere, you guys. I'm not going to be quiet anymore. Where am I from? I'm from Russia, from Moscow, from Soviet Union. Used to be Soviet Union, now it's Russia. But yeah, привет. Any of you speaking Russian? Hold on, back to the jealousy question. Somebody asked, I just wrote down jealousy. What was it? It was specifically something about rage and trauma and jealousy. Hey, from Greece, right on. We're here. I'll show you guys. We're snowed in Seattle. Look at that. You see it? It's kind of like winter wonderland. It's really, really something that I miss because I grew up with snow in Russia. Hey, from Texas. Is it hot over there? From Bulgaria. Holy shit. Everybody right. Where are you from? I want to see. New York. I was in New York once when I immigrated to the States with my ex-husband, now my second ex. Yeah, I was married twice. You have a kind of a fucking rocky road when you're a sexual abuse survivor because sex is not good. And, you can watch any of my previous videos about that. But I flew through New York and I was starstruck by the skyscrapers. You guys, I've never seen a skyscraper in my life before. I was like, oh my God, I was looking at these streets. It was awesome. And I love New York. I'm from Moscow. Moscow is a crazy city. Like, we have over 20 million people. So I miss this bustle. Seattle to me looked like a village when I came over. I'm like, what is this? Like, I'm used to a huge city. Munich, Germany. Hey, I lived in Berlin. I've never been to Munich, but I lived in Berlin for 4 years in my teens. And I was there when the Berlin Wall fell down. So it was, let's see, from when I was 11, so 76, 11, 87 to 91. I lived in Berlin, in Karlshorst, in East Berlin. Yumi-chan says, I want to be a writer, but I don't know how to start. Okay, so it's very simple. You are a writer if you just declare it. And how you start is you begin with the biggest pain that you haven't told anybody about. You write yourself as a hero and whoever hurt you as a villain. Go to my other account, to my, how can I heal myself? We'll get there. To my startup. The startup that I started, it's called Emberville. So the account here is Visit Emberville. We only have like 80 followers because I just started it. But go in there and watch the videos. I give you tips how to begin writing. But also, if you want to go, you can join the community, you know, if you can. We don't have any free accounts because we're super troll free. But that is what I'm doing there. I'm teaching people how to begin writing your trauma into a story and how to become a writer, how to essentially turn your pain into art. Hey, Volver Lagas, I've been to Seattle once. You think you're Sweden. Hey, Sweden. It just scrolls up so fast. I'm from Berlin, but live in Munich. In Berlin, I lived close to Berlin Wall in Neukölln. Yeah, I've been to Neukölln. Oh, that's so cool. I'm in Karlshorst. Remember S-Bahn? It goes from Andernachenstrasse to Karlshorst. Hello. Yeah, tell me all, guys, where you're from. Back to somebody asked the question about jealousy. If you want to type that up again, because I totally missed it. So we're talking about boundaries today, you guys. But, I mean, feel free to ask your questions in Q&A. Basically, I'm sharing with you, Texas, lived in Israel for a little. Hey, what to do if my family controls everything? How to dress? Hey, Bosnia, yay. Okay, jealousy, hold on. I trust my partner, but I have fears from previous relationships. Okay, hey, Rita from London. Sorry, you guys, hold on. There's 2 questions, and I'm trying to hold them in my head. Which one was before the jealousy? I just read it. Can you please type it up again? And I'll go about the jealousy because that's the one I remember right now. Please type your other question again. I'll read it. I had that issue. I was married and it was terrible. And I also picked, you know how we do it. I picked my husbands based on the image of my father. So even though they were loving, what makes people so evil like your father? You know what? My father is not evil. He was also very hurt. So, okay, so here's what helped me, guys, with partnerships, with everything you're asking. By the way, if your questions are scrolling so fast that I can't read it, please ask them in Q&A. Maybe I can give you a video as an answer. Or follow me on Instagram. Send me a message in there with the question. And then we can talk in there when this is over. Okay, jealousy, relationships, problems. Why is the father evil? Okay, I'll explain to you. The abuser seeks abuse because it is relief for them. I just want you to put it on just for a second. Just bear with me. I know you hate your abusers. So it took me many years of studying psychology and many books of writing about serial killers, abusers, and violent people in general to understand the psychology. By the way, I highly recommend you write that because you feel the humanity in your abuser, and that's when you're able to let them go because they fucking control you in your head even though the abuse is over. So, for example, why do serial killers kill? Because they're so numb to the pain that they've been through, because they've been through trauma, is when they see the pain on the face of someone they abuse. And typically they abuse someone who reminds them of themselves, same sex or same age, right? And that is why mostly it's children, because most of the shit happens to us when we're kids. So when they see the pain on the face of the child, they feel relief because they're not able to feel that emotion. They're so numb, they're beyond help. I mean, we as society cannot help serial killers except to lock them up, that they get relief and they're hooked on it. Do you understand? So when a father does that to you, usually it's when you didn't have enough time to bond with your father. There's a bonding period that happens when you're really young. And my father was not with me. Like my mom didn't feed me. I don't know what my parents did to you, honestly, because when I was 9 or 8 months old, or 9, I had to get a blood transfusion in the hospital because I was dying from not being fed. Like, tell me, what the fuck did they do? And when I asked both of them, they're just like, oh no, you didn't eat. It was your fault. I'm like, you're fucking kidding me, right? I was 9 months old. It was my fault that I didn't eat? So anyway, my grandmother took me in to, they took me to the village and they literally had to hike. My great-grandmother hiked to the village to get milk from a cow to feed me back to life, so to speak. Hold on, I've lost my train of thought. So anyway, so the understanding here that I wanted to give you is my father was badly hurt. I don't know how, but he was, and my mother was. It was abuse going on for generations and families. And so the reason why they hurt me is because I would remind them of themselves, and they were angry. They were angry at their abusers. They were angry at themselves. They didn't fight back. Does that make sense? So when my grandma took me away from my mom, my father basically wasn't in my life. right? So he started abusing me when I was 5 because my mom, so they divorced when they were 4. And then my mom got pregnant again. They had sex again. He often told me how he hated her because he loved her so much. Just think of the sick logic. He hated her because he loved her so much. Anyway, she got pregnant and then she made an abortion. She taunted him with it. And like any abuser, any man is a bully. They're weak and they're afraid of you. So he started hurting whom? Not my mom, because, you know, she's an adult. She could fight him back. He started hurting me. And he got all this sexual aggression at me. Also, by the way, sexual abuse is not about sex. It's about control. It is just the most violent and the most tender, like how to explain it. The sexual nerves, the nerves in your sexual organs are so tender and they're so receptive. That is the most painful way to abuse someone. That is what is sexual abuse. You get it? No excuses for narcs. What else? What levels of being selfish is too far? I mean, hopefully this helps you guys what I'm talking about, my story. Just so you know, first of all, you're not alone. Second, if you're saying that you're selfish, there's no such thing as being selfish. You taking care of yourself is you loving yourself. I did that in one of my videos. If you go back and watch a bunch of my videos, you know, begin watching them, then drop them if they're not useful to you. But go to the one, I can't remember which one it was. I talked about the oxygen mask. You know how you get on the airplane and you get like the oxygen mask, they tell you, put it on yourself first and then on a child or then on your neighbor. That is what you do. You put the oxygen mask on yourself first. Hey, Sim Chabra, you're saying our parents seem incredibly similar. I'm really sorry, but unfortunately that's the case. Abuse and sexual abuse goes on for generations in families. It's much more rampant in countries like mine, where I come from, Russia, you know, India and other countries. In America, is still really bad. Like every second to third woman has been sexually violated. And if you look at police records, I'm not inventing anything here, go Google it. You will find that over 80% of abusers are related to their victim. That means family. That makes it what? Incest. Exactly. So, but back to my point. The reason why my father abused me so easily is because we never bonded. Do you get that? We never lived together. So in your own abuse, if you look at that, look for the patterns. If the father was absent, like you could be living with your father, but he's not participating in raising you as a child, that is why it's easier for a person like that to abuse you. You see, because they have never bonded with you really. So there is no remorse really. It's kind of like you're a relief. Okay? Here's another reason why. Their parents never really loved them. And so they don't have any, like they would hurt themselves. Have you noticed how a lot of abusers are either on drugs or alcoholics? Why? Because they're self-medicating. Okay? They're curing their own pain. Yep, there you go. Never lived with him. Never put that together. That's it. I mean, ask me questions. Because guys, I was so freaked out when I realized it happened to me. I've read every book that's out there. Like I've researched it to death because I just tried to understand what kind of a sicko father can do that to his daughter. My parents are Russian too. My mom and my dad were both abusive verbally, mentally, and physically. I'm so sorry. Yeah, it was normal back then. You know, you were beaten with, I still remember my great-grandmother beat me with stinging nettles. Do you guys know what a stinging nettle is? It's, you know, it burns your skin. So she would like pull my pants down and flap me with that. You know, she'd drown puppies in front of me in the bucket. I mean, it's just like the shit that I've been through. Like I've seen a guy killed in front of me. It's just, you know, we don't talk about this. Have you forgiven him? So you know what? I thought I did, but I don't know. Some days I'm so angry at him, I want to fucking kill him. And I no longer know that I need to forgive him. I don't. So sometimes I feel like I have. And sometimes I want to shoot him. Like I want to eviscerate him. I want to cut off his dick and make him eat it. I'm really angry. And that's okay. That's fine. So you don't have to forgive despite what everybody tells you. You only have to do what's healthy for you. If you feel like you want to forgive, forgive. But if you don't. Oh, that's insane. I'm sorry you went through that. You know, yeah, that's why I didn't talk about it for a long time, because it does seem insane to people. Sadly, it is very common. Domestic abuse is common. Abuse within families is common. Sexual abuse within families is common. Like if you just look at the statistics, they're hair-raising. And that is one of the reasons why I'm talking about you. Yay! Hey, Miss Vis, I'm feeling you so bad. I'm feeling you too. Like I miss Germany so much. I wish I could go and visit you. It's me, Jana, too, says, I'm scared to have children in the future because I haven't had experienced love in my life. Oh my God. Oh my God. You have no idea. I was terrified. So I had my daughter when I was 18, which is, by the way, very typical. If you're a sexual abuse survivor, you usually are an early parent or a young parent because you're a teenager and you just, you have like no understanding that your body belongs to you, so you just give it to guys for sex, and then you just get pregnant. So because I had sex before, but I didn't understand that that's what sex meant, right? As a kid, when I had my first sexual experience, there was no pain, there was this detachment, the guy asked me, who was then my first husband, it was like right after high school ball, like when you graduate. I don't know what it's called here. I forgot what it's called in Russia. Anyway, so we had sex and I just kind of watched myself from this side. And he was so surprised because, there was no blood, no nothing. And it always bugged me, that experience. And I was like, oh, now I understand why. So I was a teen mom. Okay, now I've lost my train of thought. Okay. Do you have a good relationship with the children? Yes. I love my children to death. And they both tell me that I'm the best mom ever. I mean, I tried my hardest to break the pattern, but I did get angry. Like there was one time my daughter was 4 and I can't remember what she did. And I remember that I shoved her into the room, closed the door, and I punched the wall because I had this fit of rage. And I tried to stop myself to not lay a finger on her. So I punched the wall, I think until my knuckles were bloody. I just wrote a story about it like 2 weeks ago. And I sent it to her and, she said, wow. And I said, hey, I apologize for that moment when I tried to be the best. And she's like, I accept the apology, but you know what, Mom, you're the best mom ever. So about your fear, where can I buy your books? Okay, so you can if you want to. If you have money, I'll take it because, as a writer, I don't make much. It's on my website, kseniaanskit.com, my first and last name.com. So if you have money, and if you're in the US, I'll ship you. Actually, I ship internationally. It's just international shipping is expensive, like $25 or something. So I'll sign your book and I'll send it to you. If you don't have a lot of money, you can still buy my books on Amazon. If you just type in my name in there. If you don't have money at all, on my website, you can go click on any book, scroll down. You can download it for free. And if you do that, just in the future, at some point, please, when you have money, support some other creator or some other writer and in some way give to someone so we can pass on the flame. That's why I'm making it available for free for you, because I believe that sometimes life is shitty. And I've been there. I've been through bankruptcy. I was a single mom. I was unemployed, had no medical insurance, nothing. So that is why I'm offering it for free to you. Yes, I have ebook versions. Not on my site. You can go on Amazon and buy my ebooks from any country. But I have on my website, I have ebooks for free. I have Kindle, Mobi, Mobi file for Kindle, EPUB for Apple Reader or whatever, what are they called? iPad and PDF. You can go download it. I think the first, dang, you're like legit. What does that mean? I'm legit. My first book that's not available for free is the one I just published. It's called Tube. It's a ghost story, and it is ultimately about, well, no, I can't tell you what it's about because I'll blow it for you. But my readers yelled at me, literally. They said, hey, you got to stop giving your books away for free. So this is the first one that you can't download for free. But if you write me a letter and email me and tell me, hey, I'm totally broke right now. I trust you. I trust that you're truthful. I'll email you the file, the PDF file. I have a sense you're a really strong woman. I fucking hope so. Because sometimes it doesn't seem to me like that. But somehow I did survive. That's why I'm here for you. I realized that if I'd be sitting on all this stuff that I did for myself and not share it with people, that I'd be fucking selfish. Like, I did it for me, and now I want to do it for you. So I'm going to be live here every day. I'm going to be posting a video here every day. I started a company. It's called Emberville, and it's about writing your way to wellness. It's literally about writing a story of your trauma, getting rid of it, but then also publishing it because it's fiction. So if you're curious, check it out. We have an account here. It's called Visit Emberville. Because there's also an Australian band called Emberville, if you Google it. But there's also the website. You can go in there. In my profile, you can see a link to it. We're a startup. I'm putting all my money, all my savings, everything that I have, I've put in. So if you can join us, we would love to have you. If not, send us people. I mean, we just basically, you know, we're trying to save the world. Whoa, there are so many comments. That's literally always been a goal for me. Yes, you read, you're very helpful. Thank you. Thank you. It's because of you guys that I'm here. I'm beginning to find all the toxic traits that my abusive parents have, and that's why I hate them. Yes, write that hate into a story. In your story, you pretend to be someone else and the person's parents are somebody else's parents, right? You just change the names and then tell them what you're telling me here. You're fucking toxic. I fucking hate you. Fucking shut up. Like, literally let go. Okay? And that is what's going to begin healing you. That's what began healing me, guys, because I couldn't go talk to my parents. They cut me out of their life. Right? I haven't spoken to my dad for over 10 years. And I had to tell him how much I hated him. So I told him in my books because it was driving me crazy. I couldn't live. I couldn't function. I couldn't be a proper mom. I couldn't get a job. I couldn't make money. Like, I was in a very bad place. Please do that. Don't repeat my mistakes. Do you have any advice on leaving my country? It's like hell here. What is your country? Number one. Number two, by the way, you're very pretty. You're very pretty too. You should have seen me. You know, I hated being beautiful. My mom is absolutely beautiful. My dad is really handsome. And I hated it because it attracted abusers like flies to honey. I kid you not. I tried to make myself look ugly. That's when I show you my picture, 10 years ago. I would cut my hair really short. It would be like these bangs, and I always had like this extra 10 pounds that I would just pile on purpose just to kind of look shapeless. I never was overweight, or I never had too much weight for my frame, so to speak. I have really thin bones, but I'm back now to my weight when I was 18, and this is the first time in my life that I have long hair, or like hair removed from my forehead, because I'm not ashamed to show my face open. I would hate looking in the mirror because I saw my father. My eyes are my father's, and sometimes I hate my eyes. People tell me, oh, you know, I love your eyes. They're so beautiful. And I'm like, you have no idea. Sometimes I hate them, but thank you. Best of luck with my project. Yes, thank you. Hi there. I love your videos. Do you have any tips for nurturing your inner child? Sure. You know what? I'll make a video. Hold on. Nurture inner child. Okay. I'll make a video on how to do that. That's an awesome question. Thank you. So you know what it began with me? Food. I realized, so when I had these really dark spells of depression and I was so lonely, I would go alone to a restaurant and I would order a meal for me. And I didn't have enough money, so I would save and I would order only what I wanted. And just the fact of being served and cleaned up after and have like a waiter come and serve me the food, it made me feel great. So if you find that one thing that makes you feel happy, right now for me it's ballet. So I did another video, you guys go watch it. I can't remember which one. Anyway, just watch my videos, all of them, but like watch the beginning or see the title. If it doesn't apply to you, drop it. Like, you know what, don't waste your life, right, on watching stuff you don't need. But there is one, I think it's recent, where I talked about, please write a list of 100 things you want to do. You take a day off, you turn everything off, your computer, your phone, you leave the house. This is very important. You leave the house and you go somewhere outside in the woods or to the water, and you have a pad with you like this, and you write the 100 things that you want to do. No cheating. Make a video how to forgive. Okay. How to forgive. No cheating. So you write not stuff like, I want to go to Paris, I want to go to Tokyo, I want to travel. Like, no. Very specific things. So I wrote for me things, and I got stuck at 25, then I got stuck at 50. Like, it took me all day and I was exhausted. I thought, oh yeah, it's easy. 100 things I want to do. And then I was like, oh. So for me, and then you look for patterns. You look at similar things. So I found 3 that were the same for me. And that's what I want you to look for, is the top 3 things. And it was write, read, and dance. And I always wanted to dance. You know, I'm from Moscow, from Russia, right? So Bolshoi, ballerinas, that was like every girl's dream, but my family never had money and I could never do it. So there's Pacific Northwest Ballet here in Seattle. And my daughter used to go there, and I realized I pushed my daughter into it because it was actually my dream. She never wanted it. And then as soon as she could tell me no, because she saw girls show, feet from point, she saw the blood. She's like, Mom, I'm not doing it. You know, she's like 11 or something. I'm like, sure, don't do it. And then I realized I wanted to do it, but I was blind to it. So I was like, okay, I want to dance. So I took one class, and I realized I'm so bad. I mean, guys, I'm in my 40s. We're talking ballet, right? How do you fucking even turn out? Or like, I couldn't do it. And then I really badly wanted it. And so when I did that exercise, I was like, holy shit, I really need to make time for myself to dance. And that's the thing, you know, when you say, I want to do this, I don't have time, that is a load of bullshit. I'm going to call you on that crap because you make time. Sure, you don't have enough time, but you make time, and then suddenly you have time, right? There's this Netflix blinking at you, the TV show you want to see, and you make time for it, right? So don't tell me you don't have time. Make time. So I started going every night, and now I'm pretty good. Well, I'm at the place where I'm, you know, not bad with my ballet, and that is just my soul balm. I do it every day except Sunday. Today, actually, because we're snowed in Seattle, they canceled the ballet class online. Where's your father now? Is he in prison? No, I wish. He's actually a writer. He always wanted boys. He got 2 girls, and he never shared anything with me about writing, or never even read my writing. So he's a published author, you know, in Russia. No, he's not in prison. There is nothing I can do because there's no system. I can't go back and say 35 years later, this man abused me. I don't remember exactly how. I have these vague memories when I was a kid, blah, blah, blah. There is no justice I can bring to him. So that is why I'm writing, so I don't go crazy. What's your partner thoughts on your life and everything you went through? Thank you. That's a great question. So with permission from my partner, I can share with you that he is a sexual abuse survivor too. He was raped twice. And the first time he was 6 or 7 or 8 or something, and police was called on him. But the second time he didn't tell about this to anybody, and he wanted to kill himself. He got his father's gun, but thankfully the gun was not loaded when he pulled the trigger. He put it in his mouth. It is terrible because men, when they're raped or abused, no, he's not from Russia, he's American, never come forward, or very rarely come forward. Apologies, not never. That's wrong factually. It's, you know, for us women it's hard, but for men it's even harder because of society's stigma. That is why he understands me. For the first time I met a man in my life where if I touched him the wrong way, I would trigger him. And that was a relief for me because we fucking enjoy sex right now. Like for the first time in my life, I'm enjoying it versus I was married twice and I divorced twice and I fucking hated it. So it's, yeah, it took this healing for me to break the pattern. This man for the first time is not the image of my father. However, he makes noises. They're exactly like my father makes. And I come running. I mean, he learned now to be quiet. Like he would kind of snort and clear his throat. And oh my God, I guess you can't break away from it, can you? For life, I think. Can't you report him to police? So the laws in Russia are, I mean, there is nothing. If I go back now, first of all, I'm an American citizen now. I'm still a Russian citizen too. I have dual citizenship. But like for me to go and report a crime that happened when I was a kid, from the ages when I was 5 till the ages until I was 13, like there's nothing. And frankly, I don't care. Like really, I'm not even interested in ever seeing him in my life or mentioning his name, or like, how to explain it? It's like it doesn't exist for me. Like he died, even though he's alive. So I don't care to spend my life on going and filing him to police. I would rather create my life. I'm done dealing with that man. Okay, he took away too much of my life. I'm not interested in spending another minute on him. How did you get the documents to go to America? My ex-husband, the second one, he got a job here. That's how I got here. I immigrated because, he got a job. We quickly married and we got over. I was lucky. What was my mother like? My mother, she tried very hard to love me, but she was also a teen mom. My father was much older than her. He was 35 and she was 18 when she had me, or 19. And so he abused her as well. He would constantly have sex with her morning and night, you know, and at lunch he'd come home, and it was terrible. He was kind of like a maniac in that department, and she was just a really young girl and she had nowhere to go. Her mother abused her. She ran away from home, and they married. She got pregnant, and she tried her best, but she was mostly absent, or she would come home and, you know, I tried to hang on her and say mom, and she would just like push me away. She'd beat me. And then she'd be sorry, and then she'd yell at me, like she tried to feed me. I still remember she upended the whole bowl of soup on my head. It was the most humiliating experience ever. But she was severely abused by her mom, her dad, physically, sexually, verbally. I mean, it's just, you know, I mean, at this point, I feel sadness towards her, and I wish I could help her. She lives in like abject poverty back in Russia. I'm not financially stable right now yet to help her. And the only time she contacts me usually is when she needs money. And then she yells at me like I'm the bank, you know, because I'm this rich American bitch living here in America, and I ran away from all that shit. And it took me a long time to get rid of the guilt, survivor guilt, and also to feel not like the most horrible daughter for not helping her with money, because I am still climbing out of, I climbed out of my bankruptcy, and my credit rating right now is fantastic, but I'm still not making a living yet. That's why I started my company, is to begin to actually help people, but also create, you know, wellness for myself. So I can't help her right now. Like I can't. I still have my son. I can't. And so I felt like shit, like the shittiest daughter, until I realized, no, it's healthy. I need to take care of myself first, and then I can help her. What's survivor's guilt? So survivor's guilt is when you come from a terrible background and everybody that you grew up with, you know, has been poor or hurt in some way, and you make it. Like usually immigrants have it when we escape into a different country, and, you know, we have great food. Like I'm eating good food. Every time I eat food, I'm like, oh my God, my mom has no food to eat, and I'm eating food, and what kind of a shitty human being am I? You know, that's survival guilt. They complain, but they do nothing for themselves because they love being victims. Yeah, but see, that's their pain, is nobody hears them. The reason why they complain is because they haven't been heard. And as kids, they haven't been heard. And I did another video here. One thing that helped me is I would imagine my mom and dad as babies, and I would hold them in my hands, and I would literally bawl my eyes out, because I thought before the shit happened to them, they were just two babies. You know, they were just kids. They wanted to love, and they wanted to be loved. They weren't born with this need to hurt their child. And that helps me in my darkest moments. So if it helps you, please try it, because we're all human. I mean, we're kind of all in this shit together. So FYYP3 says, I haven't been heard, but still I work all the time and at least try. Yeah. So here's what I would tell you guys, all of you. I mean, we're going to do like a writing session at my other account, the Visit Emberville, once we have 1,000 followers, because we only have about, 90 people in there, so I can't do a live stream in there. But I do classes. I do classes in my community, Emberville. The link is in my bio, the emberville.com. That's exactly what I teach in there. But I want to do it for you here if you can't afford the subscription, right? For free here, like a 20-minute session every day. I did this morning. I'm writing my thriller right now. It's called The Dutch Murders. It's about a serial killer in Russia. You begin writing it in fiction because you begin imagining the world that you want to live in. Here's the thing. You can't create a life for yourself until you imagine it. Are you Muslim? No, I'm not. I don't believe in God. I'm not religious. I respect your personal choice. However, I hate religion with a passion. Like the whole idea of some guy telling me how to live my life is a big button for me. So I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. However, your personal decision, I fully respect, and I support you as another human being, and I'll love you. You do what works for you. I personally don't believe in God, and I was raised in a country that was not, it tore all of our traditions and God and everything down. Stalin exploded churches, in Moscow. So part of the history was lost, which was a tragedy. But I never went to church, and I never grew up even with the idea of a God. Does your father's other family know about what he did? So yeah, my entire family turned away from me. It was as bad as I went back to Russia 3 years ago, and I wanted to see my uncle and his wife, and they declined to see me. And guess what? My uncle just died in October from COVID, and I never even got to see him. They all turned away from me once they learned, because they all supported my father, but not me. That's what happens to us victims, is we get blamed for it. And that's why I wanted to take my life, because I thought there is nothing else for me. Could you do a video about a book? Somebody said, could you do a video about a book? And then it scrolled up. So smart. Religion is so filled with denial and escapism. Again, remember, you guys, I come from a background where I was lucky enough not to have God being pushed on me. So maybe I would have, if I was born somewhere. Suck me balls. I love you. Hey, I love you back. Seriously, I fully support whatever you do for you. If you believe in God, that's awesome. I love you, and I love you for doing that. It's just not for me, okay? This is just not for me. So let's just love each other in the way we are. Who the fuck cares what you believe in, right? Oh, you missed the first part, but it's right there. Yeah, hey, Anaxo. Yeah, guys, I tried to set a certain time for going live, and I can't do it with my schedule. So I'm just gonna appear every day. Just know I'm gonna be here every day. I just don't know exactly the time. Usually in the morning. Something about the kids. Book recommendations. What kind of book recommendations do you want? I have read a lot. Like, here's what I would recommend is The Body Keeps the Score. All of you go right now and Google it. The Body Keeps the Score. I was forced Christian religion through my childhood. It scrolled up. Sorry. Do you have any chances of running away while I'm still 16? What is your country rules? Like, when I was in Russia and Soviet Union, I got my passport when I was 16. But I don't know. It depends on your country, where you are. Where's your accent from? What do you think? I'm from Russia, from Moscow, okay? Я могу говорить по-русски. I can speak to you guys in a bad accent. I can speak to you in a bad Russian accent. Do you want me to speak to you in a bad Russian accent? I can. My friends laugh sometimes. They make me speak in like I'm really Russian. I am really Russian. Never thought I'd believe in God after what my parents forced on me. So look, again, it's personal choice, okay? Whatever you do for you is the right thing. Don't you let ever anybody tell you otherwise. Seriously, go tell them to fuck off. You believe in God? Great. You don't believe in God? Great. You decide what's good for you. I'm just sharing here what's good for me, okay? I wanted to leave at 18, but I didn't, and 10 years later, I regret it. I'm so sorry. I love the Russian language. I come from a Portuguese background. It sounds so... I love Portuguese. I was in Lisbon once, and I fucking fell in love with it. I love it. Hi, I'm leaving my family soon forever. Any advice on surviving alone in a new country? I'm 18. Oh my God. You know what? The one thing to survive is people. So you know how people tell you, get a job, make money? That's all bullshit. You have to find people who will support you, because people will help you. So make friends. Before you go somewhere, if you can make friends here on TikTok or here in the comments, tell people who you are, where you're coming from, and make friendships with people, you go to. Tell me and I can connect you. But because then somebody can tell you about a job or let you crash at their place or something, Yeah, damn my father. You know what? I don't actually wish him ill anymore. I feel sad for him. He's been hurt, and I wish I could help him. Like, I wish I could heal his trauma. I'm choosing not to. I don't want to spend my life on it, but I really feel sad for him. So sometimes I still feel anger, but I have ginger hair too. I don't know if I have ginger hair. I have like silver hair. I started getting gray hair really young. Yeah, so connect here, okay? First of all, which country do you go to? But again, remember, you build your own family. So even though you were born into a biological family, that doesn't mean it's your family. It's not your family of choice. So choose your family. Make your family, okay? Tell him to go to a family vacation. It scrolled up. I know friends there, but I'm just so stressed. It scrolled up again. Can you adopt me, please? Yes, you're all adopted. I love you all. I'm gonna adopt you all. So come here. Ask me any questions. I'll try to answer everybody. If I can't, ask again. Don't quit, okay? Don't just say that. Don't just think that because it's silent and I can't get back to you that I don't care. It's just sometimes there's just not enough time. And yes, build a lattice of people you trust. Yes, exactly. Saudi Arabia ruled by Islam, and Islam, your dad is always in control. Yeah, I'm so sorry. You know, sexism in Russia is also pretty rampant. It is not Muslim country, but the prevalence of patriarchy in Russia is huge. And so, hold on, 20 years on my own. I'm talking, so please type that your story again. So I grew up with the image of a man being in power, right? And then we had Vladimir Lenin, Ilyich Lenin, you know, and Karl Marx and Engels, like all of these socialist pricks, and they would like watch us from the wall of every classroom from the portraits. So it was like the cult of a man, you know? So it's different, but it was also horrible. Yes, the video about parenting yourself brought me here as well. I loved it. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that video, holy shit, it has like over 400,000 views, you guys, now. And I was like, what the hell? I was feeling sad because it was my birthday, and I just wanted to tell you how I overcame it. And I guess it struck a chord, and it's like, it's still doing circles. Even though my birthday was on February 6th, is now what? It's been last week. What is your child's name? Do you have a bedtime as a mother? Well, what do you mean exactly? I do have two children. I have a daughter and a son. My 18-year-old second cousin is Russian adopted. Can't wait to visit. Let's see. First question. Did I have a bedtime as a mother? I was confused and scared as a mother because I really didn't want to be as awful as my parents were. So I did everything opposite. And I actually think I spoiled my kids probably. Because I just didn't want to hurt them, and I kind of went overboard a little. But you know what? I'm happy because I'm happy that I didn't hurt them, and I stopped the cycle. You know, and that's the best you can do, is stop the cycle of abuse. How can I connect with people? It is hard for me after being disconnected for years. Hey, I'm there with you. I hid from people for 10 years. So you're connecting with people right now. Look at this. You typed a comment. You're talking to me. You're connecting. Let's shake the hand. So tell me your story. Go on Instagram, follow me there, and send me your story. I'll try to read as many as I can. Let's see. Somehow always it scrolls up really fast. We need more people like you in the world. We need more people like you guys. We're in it together. Okay, so it's because of you that I'm here. It's because of your support. I didn't dare speak about it for many, many years. Hey, Rava081, I missed your comment. You typed and it scrolled up. I want to move out because my family is so toxic, but somehow I always stay. Because you know your shit. Okay, I'll tell you why. Because you sit in that shit and it doesn't stink. Because you've been sitting in it for so long. And if somebody, what's my Instagram? It's my name. Just go find me. Nobody stir it, right? Because if somebody touches it, it begins stinking. So it's normal. Just know it's normal. And it is because the people who are surrounding you is your continuous patterns. You have to break away from those people. You know, somebody said somewhere that you are the sum of the 5 people that are closest to you. So cut those people closest to you away. Okay? And that is how you're going to be breaking away from the family. It is not easy. I know it's easy for me to tell. It took me years. So don't feel bad about it. You're not alone. Keep talking about it though. I don't know where to go and I live with an abuser. I'm so sorry, but you're already here. So you already left your abuser, at least for right now. Do you see what's happening? We're talking about it. So tell us where you're from. And then find someone in the comments who's also from there. Begin talking about it. That is the biggest thing that abusers thrive on, is silence. So don't be silent. Tell your story. If you cannot tell your story in real life, write it as a fictional story. That's how I started healing, and that's what I'm doing at Emberville right now. Can you do IU? What is IU? Paul G-O, Paige Jocelyn. I didn't fully understand your comment. You make me believe that I can be a good person, kind like you, even with trauma. Yeah, but hey, I was angry and hateful for many years. So if you feel anger and hatred and hostility and you want to hurt people, please know it's normal. It's your normal response, okay? Are you protected with your kids? Do they know the story? Yeah. My daughter burned my father's books with me at the bonfire. She was a teenager. My son knows it. Hey, from Colombia. And they're not in contact with my parents. I mean, with my mom sometimes. But yeah, fictional cathartic writing to Yes, please try it. If you need tips, go to the other account, visit Emberville, and watch all the videos. I'm posting videos in there with writing tips in particular, how to do this, and we're gonna do a live class in there. What do you do for a living? Good question. So I'm a writer. I just finished my 10th novel and I published it. And I used to do consulting and coaching, but I just started a startup. So literally I'm not making a living for the last several months. I burned through all my savings, the teeny savings that I had, and I'm in debt now because I'm fundraising for a startup. The link is in my bio, emberville.com. Hopefully soon we'll make enough revenue so I can pay myself salary. But right now I'm making nothing. So if any of you are buying my books, I love you so much, because yesterday somebody bought books, and I had money coming in. I'm like, yeah, I have food money. I do have enough. My boyfriend is working, and it's just that I cannot contribute to our common budget, because I used to cover, part of the rent, and our money is separate. So part of the rent, part of the food budget, but now I can't. He's pulling the weight for both of us. It's not pretty. It's really tight. But we will get there. And I will help you also. If you're in a dire financial situation, I went through bankruptcy. I was in debt. Up to my ears. It was horrible. I was single mom, unemployed, really, really bad position. No insurance, no medical insurance, but I pulled myself out. So I'll talk to you about this too, how to do it. I used to do financial coaching actually for creatives, because most of us creative types, we don't fucking know how to handle money, and we're always poor. We're always broke, which pisses me off. That's another reason why I started my startup, is I want to pay creatives well, like writers, writers specifically. You know what, guys? I yacked your ear off. I actually am going to go eat lunch, and I'm going to go out and walk in the snow. We have snow in Seattle right now, which is amazing. I miss snow because I'm from Russia. When I feel anger, I just hurt myself instead. Oh my God. I'm with you, sister. I did that too. So that is why you need to let your anger out. Please, please, please. And everybody support me. If you see that comment scrolling up, hey, you're from Seattle. Tell me you're from. Please tell that person, I forgot your name, write it out into a fictional story. And in that fictional story, that abuser, please hurt them. Hurt them back. Hurt them back how they hurt you, because you deserve it. Because fuck them. They have so much control over you that they're making you hurt yourself. Do you see what they're doing? So fuck them, fuck them, fuck them. Write it out into a story. Hurt them in there. That is what I did to my father. Hey, from London, the waterfront. Yay. I'm in Canmore, actually in that, on the top of the lake. And I go on walks around Green Lake every Sunday. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but I'm going to go on Berkey Gilman Trail right now. Wow, I can really identify. Used to live in Seattle. Hey, yeah, so like I said, everybody, tell everyone where you're from. Please connect. If you see comments and if you see somebody saying I'm alone, please talk to that person. Say you're not alone. Please connect and talk to each other. The whole point is that we're not going to be silent anymore, okay? We're bringing awareness to what happens when you're suffered abuse as a child, verbal, physical, sexual, and how we can thrive. But the biggest thing, we have to just break the silence. That's why abusers get away with it. We have to break the silence, and we have to let them stop hurting us. Like when you're hurting yourself, that's these people in power. Hey, from Toronto, and you're alone. Somebody please speak to Rani Yolk and say, hey, you're not alone. Clemson, South Carolina. Hey, I've never been there, but I want to go. Born in Lisbon, Portugal, moved to UK and want to move to Germany. So I've never been to UK. I lived in Germany for 4 years and I was in Lisbon for 2 weeks. Toronto. Yes, you're not alone. You're not alone. Guys, those of you just joining now, I'm going to wrap up. If you have questions that have been unanswered, if you want me to do a video, post your questions in Q&A. See in my profile, in the bio here in TikTok. If it's a longer thing and it's private, go follow me on Instagram. It's my same name. Send me a message in there. That's private. Where I'm from Moscow, Russia. Does the writer community know your father's past and his books? Well, here people know. I've had people tell me, we're gonna go and fucking, crush your father and blah, blah, blah. Frankly, I'm not interested. And, you know, so what? That's why he's hiding from me. He's very scared. He knows that I can ruin his life. I just choose not to. I'm just not interested. I don't want to cause more pain in the world. You know what I mean? Like, really, I'm not interested. And it's not going to help me. He's not going to apologize. He's not going to suddenly tell me, I'm sorry I did this to you. He just won't. So there's no point, you guys. I get that. Hold on. I've lost my train of thought. Oh, okay. So I'm wrapping up. I'm going to nuke this because I'm going to go eat lunch and then go walk in the snow. Number one, if you have a question here and it scrolled up too fast and I didn't answer, if you want me to make a video, put it in Q&A. It's in my bio. If you have a private story to share, go follow me on Instagram. Send me a message. If I don't somehow respond, because sometimes there's too much and I just have to check out, still send it to me again or contact me on my website, emberville.com, which is my startup website. Or you can go to my personal site where my books are. That's kseniaansky.com. Send me an email. Don't quit. Come to my live streams. I'm going to be streaming every day. I'm not going to set the set time like I tried to do, but usually it's going to be around 9 to 10 a.m. Pacific time, work days, and sometime in the morning, my time, Pacific time, you know, Saturday and Sunday. I'll be here tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. You inspire me. I love you all. You're not alone. We are our own family, okay? We're creating it together. So go right. I'll go eat. You know, and tell me what else you need, what else I can help with. I love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Bye. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.